Hi everyone, and welcome to next episode at Global Sassitude. So my name is Shirley and I'm a beauty business coach.
Hi, I'm Pauline. I'm a financial wellness mentor. I'm from Singapore.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I help women recreate, rise and roar beyond divorce or loss.
Amazing. Well, welcome ladies, and thank you so much again for joining me today on this session, which I love the topic that we will be discussing today, which is leadership. So I have a very strong sense of leadership and it comes naturally to me. But there was a point in my life where I actually abused it a little bit and I didn't use it the way I should have. But that caused me so much heartache and it caused me so much losing valuable people in my life because I wanted to dominate rather than be a leader. And today I can, with all honesty, say that I've learned how to lead with passion and to change the mindset of many people, to help them see that vision, and to help them, overcome what sometimes they might be struggling with. So leadership, I think, is one of the most important and critical elements in professional and in business life. Leadership, if you don't have leadership, if you don't know how to lead, not just your family, but your members, your work colleagues, you do have a problem because you need to be that person, that strength, that reliable source that people can go to. So sometimes it is a bit of a responsibility, but I believe that if you are born with this natural sense of leadership, and even if you're not born with the sense of leadership, it is a skill that can definitely be learned, and it's a skill that could take you so much further in life. So let's hear from Pauline. Pauline, what is your take on leadership? And what do you think is the major impact that it can have on someone's direction and their vision in personal and in business life?
Okay, thank you, Shirley. Hi, everyone. Pauline here. And I used to run a listed company. I was a startup entrepreneur since 2010 after I left 10 years from the public service working for the Singapore government. And I started my company. And after that, I grew my business, IPO it in 2014 in the Australia Stock Exchange, spin off another one in 2018. And at the point of time when I exit my company in 2022, I had a 5 offices with 200 team members. Yeah, running at like a 30 million kind of revenue per year.
Oh my
And I have
gosh,
offices
congratulations.
in China, in Taiwan, in Malaysia, and all of them come from like different backgrounds, different races, like Chinese, Malays, Indians, and even in Singapore, Malaysia, we have like different culture. But leadership, yes, I can definitely really feel that and relate to that, especially in the professional sense. So let me talk about the professional sense and then I come back to the personal sense. I think a lot of people thought when it comes to leadership in professional sense, I think that one not difficult for people to really kind of like understand that if I'm like, I used to come from this place called Ministry of Defense, and Defense Force is all about leadership. You have a commander and the commander would have to lead like the soldiers, okay? And leadership is a big thing when it comes to the Defense Force. And I definitely know we do have, and I've developed even a framework we call the Leadership Competency Framework with all the there are actually 20 different kinds of competencies that's required of a leader, right? So generally speaking, in terms of leadership, when it comes to professional sense, even that there are 2 parts to a leadership. One is called the self-leadership. And what in terms of self-leadership, it means personal mastery. Yeah, so it is a big word when it comes to personal mastery. Now, personal mastery would mean that we are good at what we are doing. Now, the key thing about an individual, a lot of people thought that a leader should be good at everything. Frankly speaking, the answer is no. A leader need not be good at everything. A leader just need to know how to master itself to be able to facilitate and empower the people whom they are leading. So first, I would take is personal mastery when it comes to self-leadership. And with that, we would be then able to lead people and empower them to shine and nurture them based on their strength. So that is my take when it comes to leadership. And I personally embrace a lot when it comes to leadership in this a theory of a servant leadership. Yeah, whereby I would say that as a leader, we must have that integrity. When we say it, we mean it, and we do it. No double standards, all right? And I always acknowledge my team members. I always tell them that they are the best at their job, not me. I can't do their job. I will always acknowledge them. Even though I'm the executive director or the CEO of the company, I will always acknowledge my team members and let them know that they are the best. Even if they are doing administrative stuff, I will tell them that I will suck at doing your job, being an administrative person. Because day in, day out, you are doing it, and because you practice it, you do it well. And if you need any resources, my role is to support you and provide you with all these resources so that it will facilitate you to do the job better. So that for me is in terms of the professional leadership. When it comes to personal leadership, I would say in terms of my private life, personal life, I lead my life well. That means I take care of myself, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Yes, being a healthy and happy person. Because I always believe in this. Happiness is a choice. And to be a great leader is to be a happy person. Imagine if I'm an unhappy person, I can tell you, my whole team will be unhappy. And no matter what I do, they won't feel motivated. So imagine if you are personally happy, right? Your team will be happy, and when they are happy, they will love to do what they are doing, and they will do it well. So all I need to do is just to facilitate that part, and the inspiration, the motivation will come from internal. It's an inner motivation. That's my take on leadership.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing that. And before, Lisa, I'm going to get to you. I want to chat a little bit about this, Pauline, because remember when I said in the beginning that I was born with strong leadership and being able to lead people, but I used it wrong. Because I think I was taught wrong how to be an independent, strong individual. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a leader, you know? So I confused the two. I was a strong person because I had to be strong. From a very young age, I was basically forced into a role to look after my sisters because my dad and my mother was working at the time. And unfortunately, my mum's maternal instincts, I think, still hasn't kicked in yet, unfortunately. Which is, for some people, that might be sad, but I've just accepted it. And it's okay, you know, that she is who she is and she's happy with where she is. But I had to be a strong person, but that didn't make me a leader. And I think that confusion sometimes, you know, it comes in for a lot of people. Because what I ended up doing with my staff, and I didn't have 200, I've never had 200 people yet working for me. I'm hoping to get there one day. But I had staff of about 7 to 8 salespeople that was working under me, and I dominated. I didn't lead them. The shop was doing amazing, but my staff weren't happy. It was a very unhappy pace that we worked in. And I think when people are more aware of that when you are a strong person, you need to also see how you treat people. Because I ended up doing exactly that in my personal life. I dominated my family. I was the boss. You will not tell me anything I tell you. And my husband wasn't happy. My kids weren't happy. And now, you know, when I did what you did and basically took a step back and looked at the situation, why are people not happy around me? Why is my teams not happy? Why aren't we doing great? Why is my relationship not doing great? I realized that I wasn't looking after my personal self. I wasn't looking after the personal me and, you know, self-love and giving myself the attention and the love that I actually really needed. So the way I was abusing me, that way I was abusing others. So leadership does not mean dominating. I think we need to be aware that leadership is different to being a strong individual. You can be both. You can be both. Two different things.
So Shirley, my take is this. I think a lot of people are kind of like confused. I have a lot of distinction in that being strong, we need to be strong. But doesn't mean being vulnerable is not strong. To me, of a person who is able to show his or her vulnerability is the strongest person. The next thing I would say in terms of being strong is don't be confused that power means leadership. So a lot of people
Yes.
kind of like take it like leadership is power. No. Leadership and power, they are totally different things.
100%.
So when we want to have power, it's an inner power. We would have that power. As long as people are convinced with you, as that leader, you will be powerful. Yeah, Lisa, you have something to say. Yeah.
I've always got something to say, but I always like to listen as well. Like Shirley, I was born with leadership skills, and I think it's the Capricorn in us, to be honest. Capricorns are known for being leaders. Unlike Shirley, though, I've never tried to dominate. I did start work very early. When I was 2 weeks off 16, I went and started work for New South Wales Police in an administrative role. And I went from police to revenue, a few different government departments, but I always had fabulous mentors. The leaders were always amazing. And I guess I looked up to them and I got leadership skills from them. But I think that is a privilege that I look back now to have had mentoring and to have really good leaders. But I guess as a leader myself, like in that last role that I just had, I wasn't a leader, but I have in the past been a leader of up to about 17 staff. And as a leader, I actually like to let my staff be an individual person. And then I like to help them fit into the organisation so they can rise up and become the best they can be. And it doesn't matter what role you've got. Every role is just as important as the next role. And of course, both of you have mentioned about leading by example. If I'm going to do something, I have to know that my staff are able to do it. And also a good leader will make sure their staff has all of the resources they need. A good leader will let their staff be heard. They will, if the staff has something to say, let them be heard. And yes, always let them know, give them feedback, positive feedback. Negative feedback is also good. I always found negative feedback is always good to give because then you've got room for growth. And also talk about if someone's not doing something, they actually might feel very bad about it and have no confidence with it. And how are you going to help them grow if you actually don't talk about it? So that's sort of a bit of a take from a professional point of view. And from a personal point of view, I guess, yes, I was very happy as a mum to lead my family. Yes, I was bossy about get the kitchen clean before I get home from work so the kitchen's clean. Do polish your shoes. One of my children has a bit of a thing where mum used to make us polish our school shoes. I didn't really care if the bedrooms were that clean because I could close the door. But even as a mother, I spent time with my family on the weekend and I still try and be the leader of the family as in someone that they can look up to and someone that my family can come to and I can help them out where needed. So the leadership is shown in a lot of ways. And my new role that I'm stepping into is leading women to help them recreate a new life beyond divorce. And that will be a different level of leadership as well. They won't be people that are reporting to me. They won't be my children. They'll be beautiful women that I want to lead into a new life. So their leadership skills will again be at the forefront, but in a different way.
Oh, wow. I couldn't have said it any better. There we've got it. Leadership is about inspiring, motivating, helping others make decisions, helping others walk into their power, helping others see what they can be. And I confused this. In the beginning, I confused this to something that was a dominating power, something that was an overpowering, because that's how I grew up. And unfortunately, sometimes we take that and we run with that because we think that is what it is. It's dominating others, being in control, being the boss. But since I've really learned the skill of what leadership means, I realized I am naturally born with this. I've got this natural skill, but I had to go and learn the skills to be better at it. And I did just that. And now I've got people working for me, working with me, whom I don't think 10 years, 18 years ago, I would have been able to see their true purpose, to see what they truly have available, and to help them get really clear on their own goals, their own visions, their own dreams. And sometimes when we are in this powerful act, that is basically just what it is. It's an act. We just act. If we dominate people and we criticize and we overpower, that doesn't mean you're a leader. That doesn't actually mean anything. It means you're hiding something that is painfully hurting you and you are taking that out on others, because that is what I was doing. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on a topic that is so close to my heart and something that I had to go through and really learn. And if I could do it, I definitely know that you can do it. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on our next session. And remember, if you love our content, please love, like, subscribe, and comment. And please share this with others. We would love to see you on our next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.